Good evening and welcome to today's weather update. Now, I'm just going to start with a bit of modelling. There's been a lot of talk about a tropical low, and some people have been even gone as far as to claim there's going to be a cyclone. Um, Basically, modelling is not pointing to a cyclone. EC did spit out a bit of a insane outlook earlier today, but in the next run, it completely dropped it. Now, I'm on the EC model now, and in this morning's run, it had by 9 a.m. Saturday the 22nd, there'd be a cyclone sitting off the coast of Darwin. Today, this afternoon, as you can see, that's completely changed. So this is the importance of watching models and not just going off half whack with one model run. And even if we look at everyone's favorite, GFS, it has nothing but a tropical low currently, which could affect the top end, but GFS is not the most reliable for tropical systems. So until I actually see a system form, I take GFS with a grain of salt at this point. So yeah, there's a weak tropical low could form, but at this point it looks like with the more accurate EC modeling, more like a depression that will form. Now, obviously, anything can change. So, of course, even with every little blip that comes out, I do monitor it. So I will be keeping an eye on this. But at this stage, there is no cyclone warning, and there is no likelihood of a cyclone. It's a very low chance at this point. So I just wanted to cover that quickly. And if anything does come of it, even a tropical low that may affect the top end or the Kimberley, I will cover that. But for now, just wanted to touch on that. But modeling is not supporting anything big currently. Okay, we'll move into the rest of the video. So I'm just going to look at the next few days' conditions. So tomorrow we have some broad areas of low pressure across the country. This will cause a few thunderstorms to develop inland in South Australia and Western Australia during the morning. These will gradually progress east during the day and become a little bit more widespread. Now, some of these storms may be severe as they were today, so it's just keep out, and we're keep an eye out, and we're posting any warnings for those. Possible storms up in the top end, although on the western side of the top end is probably a little less likely at the moment because of the excess cloud cover. So I think that might be a little wrong up there, but we'll see. Although the Tiwi Islands may see some thunderstorm activity. Down in Tasmania, there's a chance of some snow up in the high ground, as well as some showers across the state. So that's a bit of a wintry weather down there at the moment, but some of the high country may see that snow. Moving on to Friday, and the broad area of low pressure will gradually move east, and it will have an associated trough down through. I'm pointing at it with my finger. You can't see that. It will down through Queensland here, and we should see some thunderstorm activity develop ahead of that. So we're just going to move on forward. So that thunderstorm activity should become a little bit more widespread with potential severe storms inland at this stage. Same as over WA up here in the Kimberley and across parts of the top end. Now, Saturday is expected to see a little bit more widespread storm activity across the eastern parts of New South Wales. This again is associated with this trough system that's linked to this low down over Victoria. That will set off some thunderstorms across eastern New South Wales, partly around the south and southeast of Queensland and inland. There's a chance of storms anywhere across the Northern Territory on Saturday, so that's quite a broad potential. Again, some of these may become severe with large hail, gusty winds, or heavy rain that may lead to flash flooding. So as we move into Saturday evening, this activity should move further east and dissipate as it hits the coastal areas. There could be a few areas of storms still going in the inland parts of Northern Territory. So yeah, be aware of that if you are traveling around that particular area. Moving on to Sunday, that storm activity that was affecting the New South Wales coast will go off shore there. So that's the trough system that was bringing that for the New South Wales people has moved offshore, but there still is a chance with the remaining part of the trough being along here through inland Queensland and up into the Northern Territory. So we could see some further thunderstorm activity across Queensland and even northeast New South Wales on Sunday. So most of that activity will begin to move offshore down in the southeast and move closer to the coast in the north of the state. And as we bring ourselves into Monday, majority of the rain and everything has moved offshore down in the southern half of Queensland, and the storm potential has moved up further north around the northeast Queensland in the Cape York Peninsula. There's always a good risk of storms in the top end at this time of year, so really that kind of goes without saying that I think it's probably more easier to report when there isn't a chance of storms up there, up here even, because I'm up there. And as we move into Tuesday, that storm activity will contract up into the Cape. We have a bit of a weak circulation down off the coast of WA by Tuesday, which could set off some thunderstorms across the western area of WA. Okay, we'll move into the rainfall accumulation risk for the next week. So we have some areas that could potentially reach 100 mil across the central, Wide Bay and Burnett area here, and even some high up into the 60s or something like that for the rain accumulation down near Brisbane. Close to the coast, not so much. Another area is because we have the Julian-Maden oscillation at the moment, or the MGO, that is bringing excess cloud, and with that comes rainfall. So we're seeing some high numbers, or relatively high numbers, for areas of the Northern Territory. Now, at this early stage, it's not like a huge number for this time of year. Sometimes you'll see like 200 mil in the same period when we've got the MGO in the area. But at this early stage, everything's not kind of linking up together. We don't have any cross-equatorial flow. Well, we don't have a deep cross-equatorial flow. There may be a little bit of surface flow, but that's really not going to do too much. So we're relying on a lot of flow from our own local area, so from Indonesia as it moves over. So yeah, not a huge amount of rain with the EC modeling. We will have a little look at GFS. It's not my favorite model, but you know, I'll still bring it up. Now, it's got less rainfall down for areas of the southeast Queensland. So it's a little bit more conservative down there, which is kind of surprising. But anyway, still got a bit of a hotspot down there. So it's even the GFS is supporting that the area should see an increase of some rainfall over the weekend. Now, GFS is still keen on a low pressure system coming towards the western top end. As a result, we've got those falls going up to 300, 200, 300 millimeter across the western top end. These are probably a bit excessive, but if we do get a low pressure system track inland or close to the coast, then those falls are possible. But being that it's a GFS model, I'm not going to really take much confidence with it. And yeah, at this stage, it's a possibility, but probably not the most likely outcome right now. We'll see how it tracks in the next few days. So the GFS model thinks the low will form in the next few days' time by the weekend. So I'll revisit it again then and see what's going on and see if we actually have a low pressure system formed. Once it's formed, or if it forms, then we will have a better idea of what's going to go on. At the moment, it's basically speculation. Can't really give you an accurate forecast because modeling just does not really handle it too well until it's formed. So take all this tropical low forecasting with a grain of salt. And if it does form, then we'll see what happens from there. But that's pretty much it for this time around. So thank you very much for watching again. And be sure to have a look at my little documentary style video that I made the other day. It's the first time I've tried something like that, and I just thought it'd be quite interesting for people to have a look. So have a look at that and see what you reckon of that. Any feedback on the comments would be welcome. But other than that, that's it. So thank you. Have a good weekend, and I will make another video in a day or two's time.